Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be attempting painting a Bible, and I'm kind of terrified about it, and I've almost backed out of it, but I'm gonna do it. I don't know if it's gonna turn out good or if it's gonna turn out bad, but I think that sometimes we need to try things that kind of push us out of our comfort zone. So just a tiny bit of a backstory. I've read through the Bible several times in a year, in 90 days, and I wanted to commit to reading through the Bible again this year, but I didn't really want to use the same Bible, which that might sound bad, but this Bible that I've been using is several years old, and I've read through it numerous times, and I have tons of notes and writings and things. I don't do artsy stuff in my Bible, but I do take notes while I'm reading through the Bible, during sermons, things like that. And that obviously isn't a journaling Bible, which I have a few of, but I was like, I would really like to read through the Bible in a year and just have in it thoughts from reading through that Bible in a year, if that makes any sense to you. So I'd been looking at some shops that do hand-painted Bibles, and they are quite an investment, and I kind of showed it to my husband, and I was like, I've been looking at getting a new Bible for 2019 to read through. I was thinking about using a different translation, maybe New American Standard instead of the ESV that I've read through for about, about 20 years now. ESV has been my favorite by far. And so when I was showing him examples of what I liked, he suggested that I just try to do it on my own, which I have said over and over, I am not an artist, and I never even thought about that. But he was like, why don't you give it a try, and then it's your creation and you save some money, because before shipping those Bibles are about $100, which I completely understand, and I'm not saying that it's not worth spending. I know that those artists spend hours and hours and hours creating a Bible, and that their time is worth money. But when you haven't been working for the last month and a half and finances are at a minimum, maybe it's time to try something that is not going to cost as much. So I'm not going to be talking through what I do, but before I get started, I'm just going to let you know what my supplies are, because I did look into a couple of blogs and YouTube videos, and not all of them showed everything that they were using. So I kind of had a difficult time compiling the things that I'm going to use. So to get started, I have found this single column because that's what I prefer. I do not like double column in a journaling Bible, which I have had some of those, and I'll tell you why I don't like them. Because in the double column journaling Bible, you have this off to the side and then the two columns. And I like to leave my notes for, well, let me just open it. I like to leave the notes for what I'm doing somewhere close to that portion of scripture. So with the double column journaling Bibles, the issue that I have with those is that if I have this here, I feel like that's closest and makes sense to what I'm writing notes about. And then if there's the second column, I'm like, I don't know, do I draw a line saying that these notes are from this column? And I know that I'm really particular and really weird about things like that, so you don't need to tell me that. I already know. But that's just how my mind works. So for the single column, I know the notes that I put over here are from this text, and that's what makes sense to me. So looking into this whole thing, I found lots of different Bibles, and I was originally, that one's already got spots on it. Anyway, I had originally purchased a new black, shiny Bible to use for this project. And then the more I looked into it, I was like, is it gonna stick? Is the paint gonna crease and break and bend? And I know that a lot of people who do this, for a living, they use cloth. And I already have a couple of cloth ones, and I didn't want to redo those because I wanted to start fresh. And then, I don't know, I found this. And so this one is a customize your own cover. And so it isn't cloth, which I've heard is the best, but it gives you the blank canvas, and so you won't have to like treat a shiny black surface to adhere paint to. And so I thought that might be the best way to go about this. And so at the time that I purchased this on Amazon a few days ago, it went from $40 to $20 and some change. So I thought this is a really good deal. And if like I mess it up and I hate it, it was only $20 and I can start completely over again and nothing is harmed. I mean, I could just repaint it black and make it a black Bible if I hate what I do. Anyway, so before I get started, I am going to slide just a piece of copy paper under here to kind of try to keep my mess corralled, protect the pages, and protect my desk space. I have a really sophisticated paper plate for my painting palette. I have some cheap brushes from Walmart because I didn't have, well, I do have a couple of brushes on hand, but they haven't been taken care of very well, and I didn't think they were the right size. And then I got this nicer foam brush to seal with the Mod Podge when I'm done with everything. And this, I chose the matte finish. And for my colors, I purchased the Liquitex Basics colors. My main color is going to be black. And then I have the dioxazine. I'm not an artist. Dioxazine purple. I have the light blue permanent, the medium magenta, the phthalo blue, and the titanium white. And when I say things like phthalo blue and titanium white, I totally think that I might be Bob Ross, because that's the only person I've ever heard in my life say such things. So I'm going to set those off to the side. I also have a little spray bottle in case I need to get the paint moving. And then I have a backup little bowl of water to thin things out if needed. And this is like in a Pioneer Woman measuring cup from Walmart. This is like a high-tech system that I've got going here. And then, is that all that I have? I think that's all that I have. I have a hair dryer down here because I don't have one of those heat stick things, whatever they're called, in case I need to dry something. I also have, and I just have that just in case, it's a backup. And then I have some paint pens, and this is only if I get brave. Most people who do the customized Bible also hand letter after it's all done, and I don't know if I'm gonna be that brave. Like when I've done paintings and painting classes, every time it goes to time to like sign your name and stuff, I've been like, nope, I worked this hard on this whole thing. I'm not gonna ruin it with some lettering that I hate. And so I wimp out all the time. So I don't know if I will choose to hand letter or not. The goal with this is to do a galaxy. I really like galaxy stuff. I love looking up into the night sky and stars and all of that. So the goal is to make a galaxy Bible cover. And just pray for me, guys, because I'm terrified that this is not going to turn out the way I want it. And honestly, I got some cheap canvases and I was going to practice on that before I got into the Bible and did that. But in the end, I didn't go with that because I was like, what if I do a galaxy and I really love it on the canvas and then I can't recreate the same look on the Bible? Which is kind of crazy, but that's just how my mind works. And so I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to start out with black and then kind of build the colors from there. And we'll see where this goes. I'm not going to talk through this at this point. I'm just going to do the thing and hope that it turns out in some way good enough to share with you later. Otherwise, you'll never have seen this. Okay guys, so this is the final product minus some drying time, and I'm now gonna add a second layer of the Mod Podge as soon as I get the lettering done. After I finished it, and I really struggled with the paint flicking, and so I kind of gave up. I ended up showing the final result to my friend Robin, art journal girl, and she suggested more stars. But I was terrified to do more stars because I was having so much trouble with like the paint flicking. And then I remembered that I bought the dumb paint pens. So I went in and I just kind of dabbed here and there. And then, hold on, this is bothering me. And this is the thing too. Like, I could probably do this forever and ever and never feel like it's done. I'm kind of struggling with how rich the paint pen came out, or the lack thereof, I guess. It was really difficult to letter that. Other than that, the only thing I did is I attempted to do like a Libra constellation right here, and then I smudged this one, and I'm like, but I'm gonna leave it alone because I was probably one of the only few people who would even know what it was looking at it, and I'm gonna know I did that smudge, so whatever. But the lettering was really difficult because I had done like all of the paint flicking, and this pen kind of wants to spray ink as it goes over the unevenness of the paint. So it was really difficult. I couldn't just write it smoothly like I normally would in a normal, natural way. So the word Bible could have been a little lower. I can pick this like all day. And then the lettering isn't as bold as I wanted it to be, but every time I touch it, I feel like I'm just not going to ever be done if I don't see that looked better before then. I'm never going to be done if I don't leave it alone. So I feel like I need to leave it alone. It's just from all of the texture that is here from the layers, and probably the technique. Some covers might be really smooth, but I kind of, if you know, you saw in the video, like stamped it down. And that was really, in the end, the only technique that I ended up being happy with, how it made the galaxy look. This took a whole lot more trial and error on the actual Bible than I thought. I went into it thinking I was going to like it the original way, and I hated it. I really should have done the canvas first so that I could get my technique, but I was stubborn and I knew it was going to take a while. I didn't know it was going to take this long, but I really just wanted to get into it. So all of the trial and error from my lack of experience had to happen on the Bible itself. So the video took a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to, and I don't know what I'm going to do as far as like post-production at this point because I'm not there yet. I don't know if I'll just like cut things out because I wasn't happy with how it turned out, or if I'll show the whole process. Just please keep in mind that I definitely don't consider myself an artist or like a hand letterer person. It's just really something that I wanted to try on my own. Overall, I'm happier with the results than I thought that I was going to be, quite honestly. I had points during the whole thing where I felt like I was going to cry. Really unhappy with it for a while, and I thought I was going to give up and just order a whole new Bible and start again. But I was like, no, I can do this. I can do this. And so if you're a professional artist or you know a whole lot about painting, please, please, please don't critique me. I am not an artist. I have no training in doing anything like this. I just kind of went with what I like the look of, how I like the feel of. It's my Bible. It doesn't have to please anybody else. So please hold your critiques and keep them to yourself because I really don't need the negativity. I honestly don't know if I would try to do this again anytime soon. That was hours of work, and I kind of went into it thinking that it would be about an hour. I'm insane. It definitely didn't take that long. I ended up getting paint sprays on my Hobonichi, paint is everywhere. It's all over me, it's all over my stuff, it's all over my desk. It's just flown everywhere, especially with the splattery things. If anything else, if you were interested in painting your own Galaxy Bible, you now know maybe not what not to do. Just before I go, a couple of other notes to mention. When I did the insides here, which I'm just going to leave black, I honestly should have just left them white. I had read somewhere that it would make a more finished looking product if you painted the insides too. But then again, it's mine and I really don't care that much. I'm not concerned with this portion of the Bible as much as I am with the words that are written inside the Bible. So if I had it to do over again, I probably wouldn't do that white edge. I would have just left it alone. Also, I would have, if I had decided to go back through and do this painting, I would have done that first, because I'm sure that you saw that as I did this and then came back, it made for a whole mess right through here. And that took a lot to cover up what that did to the Bible. Also, if I were to ever do it again, I would definitely invest in better brushes, because as you saw in the video, I spent a whole lot of time trying to pick little hairs out, and then I made messy spaces here and dents here trying to get them out with my fingernails, and I know that there are hairs still in there. I'm gonna call it space dust. I don't know, but I'm happy with the result. I'm happy that I tried. It's not going to be something I ever do for a living, but nobody else is going to have a Bible like this but me, and I'm kind of proud of that. And I'm really looking forward to writing down all of my notes in my Bible for the year. I'm not going to be doing like artsy stuff in there. It's going to be legit friction highlighters, friction pens, taking notes in the Bible, because I find that I get the best results with using the friction products. And before you mention it, I do not leave my Bible out in a hot car, so there's no chance that I'm going to lose the writing. I've been doing writing with friction for too long to know that if you take care of it and keep it out of the heat, you're going to have no issues with fading. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you liked it, I hope it gives you the courage to try on your own. If you hate it, like I said, just scroll on to the next video, please, and don't have anything to say. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.